You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a fatal crash in Joplin involving a 19-year-old.
But first, we take a trip to St. Luke's and meet a few remarkable veterans nearing their 100th birthday.
And we're going to see wonderful conditions today, sunny skies and temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. I'll have those details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald O'Keefe. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Happy Thursday, February 26th. We've been saying all morning, like, we just can't believe, even in the past couple of days, we just can't believe how quickly it feels like time has been passing.
It really has been. I mean, the fact that we're almost to the end of February, meteorological spring is on March 1st. We're pushing into spring. It's been feeling like spring over the last couple of days, and temperatures are feeling really good, but I'm sure people want to get outside and enjoy that.
Yeah, and talking about time moving fast, Nellie Lopez, one of our reporters, met some people yesterday who it feels like probably the years have just flown by for them. 3 remarkable veterans who have reached the century mark are sharing their stories of military service and the secrets behind their extraordinary longevity. And they all live under one roof. KOAM's Nellie Lopez takes us to St. Luke's in Carthage to meet them.
Meet Lois, Dorsey, and Helen, 3 centenarians who worked in various roles during wartime.
So I went to work in a defense plant. We made inspected parts for airplane engines at Pratt & Whitney.
Yeah, I was training for the Naval Air Corps, a radio operator. And I come back and I got a job with Southwestern Bell. I was a lieutenant, and for patients, I was a dietitian.
Helen stayed in the service for 3 years, then went off to find her one and only.
And then I got out and went to California to find my favorite husband. I only had one.
Helen turned 106 this year. Dorsey, now 100 years old, went from the military to Southwestern Bell. And throughout life, they found their path leading to now, where we all want to know, what's the trick to happiness and longevity? Well, Dorsey says one place for some good tips is the Farmer's Almanac.
It's pretty true to my life.
Lois, who will be turning 102, shares her secret potion.
Oh, I've been asked that, but for the last probably 80 or 90 years, I've had a Coke a day, so I love Coke, and I just have one a day, but I still have a pretty good appetite, and I can still walk, and I'm very thankful.
In Carthage, Missouri, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
There is a 4th member who we were not able to speak with as bingo had just started. Eunice Farmer will celebrate her 100th birthday in October. Well, I mean, thinking like 100 years is just such a long life to get to live. And, it seems like they're very, still, very excited about life and enjoying their lives and enjoying the Farmer's Almanac and their Coke every day. So it's great to see.
Can't go wrong with some of that stuff.
No, maybe a Coke a day. Maybe that's advice we should take.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be seeing some pretty nice temperatures over the next couple of days. I'm sure they want to get out and take a nice little walk, and you can too, because we're going to see sunny skies. Let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now. You can see the sun is starting to pop its head up there. Beautiful colors with the sunrise. Like I said, you're going to start the day off with a jacket on, because temperatures are in the 30s and up to the mid 40s. But by the time it gets to this afternoon, you're going to be taking it off. You're going to probably be in a t-shirt as well. Like I said, driving conditions across the region, even in downtown Pittsburgh, looking pretty good. Not too busy right now. US 69 at US 400, not too busy as well. We had a bit of rain last night, dampened some of the roadways, but right now that's dried up, so that shouldn't affect any driving conditions out there at this moment. Taking a look outside right now, 40 degrees in Joplin. 39 degrees in Pittsburgh. So like I said, you're going to be starting off the day with a jacket, but by the time we get to this afternoon, you're going to feel pretty good out there. Temperatures all across the area, like I said, still on the cooler side. Colder, if you want to say that, actually. 37 degrees there in Iola, 33 degrees in Fort Scott, still on the colder side up there to the north. But as you get into the southern counties, we're warming up a tad bit, 46 degrees there in Bentonville, 46 degrees there in Nowata. So still a bit cool, but as we get to this afternoon, things are going to start warming up. We're going to see temperatures, like I said, in the mid-60s, even by low to the mid-60s, even by noon. This is today at noon. Winds out of the north, bringing in some slightly cooler air, but that's not going to matter too much because we're going to see sunny skies as we get to this afternoon, staying sunny as well. It's going to feel pretty good out by this afternoon, and then as we get to tonight, we're going to see winds now starting to push out from the east, and that's going to be slowly warming things up for us by tomorrow. But we're going to see sunny skies through the day, getting up to 65 degrees by 3 p.m. And it's going to be even warmer tomorrow, and I'll have those details coming up.
Donald, thanks. A Joplin teenager is dead after a single vehicle crash in Cherokee County. The crash happened around 7:45 Tuesday evening on a rural road about 3 miles north of Galena. Authorities say 19-year-old Braxton Goff was driving a car that left the road for an unknown reason, struck a tree, and caught fire. Goff died at the scene, and there was no one else in the car. Authorities closed a stretch of highway in Anderson, Missouri for 6 hours to investigate a fatal crash. That crash happened around 9:30 yesterday morning on Highway 76 and Indian Springs Trail. Troopers say an SUV crossed the center line and struck a commercial trash hauler head on. The driver of the SUV was rushed to an area hospital where she later died. Authorities have not yet released her name. The other driver was not injured. McDonald County, Missouri authorities said they're investigating the discovery of a body found partially submerged in Indian Creek near Lanigan. They say the body was discovered back on February 17th, and they've now identified the deceased person as 43-year-old Derek Cochran. The Sheriff's Department is not yet releasing many other details, but they say the investigation continues. As Christian County mourns the loss of 2 deputies, some are now asking how the shooter Richard Byrd and his wife were able to bond out of the jail twice before the deadly shooting. As Adam Woodbury reports, frustration is being directed at the judges, but the Stone County Sheriff says they followed state law.
Both of them had a $50,000 bond. They posted bond to a bondsman. We end up finding more stolen property and end up charging them again with other charges. And again, they posted a $50,000 bond apiece through a bondsman.
After the shootings, Sheriff Doug Rader says criticism online quickly followed, with some blaming Stone County judges for allowing Richard Byrd to bond out. Rader says $50,000 is not a light bond for property crimes.
And the outrage of that over the judges just floors me, because we have very good judges in Stone County, and that is a high bond in any county in Missouri for a property crime bond.
A Missouri Supreme Court rule from 2019 requires judges to set bond in non-capital cases, including burglary. Criminal defense attorney Adam Woody says, in fact, this bond was higher than what's typical for a property crime, which is commonly $5,000 to $10,000.
So the fact that this was at $50,000 certainly took into account this particular person's past, and it was a very high bond for the charges that were filed.
Woody says judges cannot legally deny bond in property crime cases, even when a person has a violent past.
The court is precluded in these situations, especially in property crimes. The court cannot hold someone with no bond. That's illegal.
He says while the outcome is devastating, courts can only operate within the law.
This is obviously a tragedy of epic proportions, but the fault lies nowhere besides on the shoulders of the perpetrator. The court system cannot control people's actions.
Attorney Adam Woody agreed that the bond was set high for a property crime, and in a case like this, if he had a client facing similar charges, he would argue to have the bond reduced. But given the fact that Byrd had a violent history, he says having the larger bond made sense. Those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Emily is in the studio with Connect to Culture to promote the exciting new performances coming in March. Welcome back. We have Emily from Connect to Culture in the studio here to tell us about some really exciting shows and performances you guys have coming up. I mean, already this year, Connect to Culture has been incredible. I know I saw the Barricade Boys earlier this year, which was great. You have a show even tonight.
I know. We've got Aquila Theater in Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Hound of the Baskervilles tonight at 7. If you don't have your tickets, come on down. We've got some seats left, but we're really excited about that. And March, we've got 3 different shows for people to choose from, especially holiday things for kids and families. The first one coming up on March 7th is the Pout Pout Fish by TheaterWorks USA, which is a group that we bring back a lot of times, year after year, because they put on such great shows. But of course, if you've read the Pout Pout Fish, it's about kind of a glum fish who thinks he's kind of destined to be this grumpy guy, but along the way, meeting friends, they teach him that he can also share joy and be happy. And so this is a really great performance for kids and families, and these amazing puppets that were created by Atchison Walsh Studios, who are acclaimed puppeteers. So much fun. We were just talking about how I wanted to go on stage and just become a puppeteer during the shows. But what's really cool about these shows is, this show is on Saturday, 2 p.m., March 7th, but the day before, we're going to have about 400 or so kids get to see the show for free. That's with all of our kids shows. We try to have at least 1 or 2 school shows that are just free school field trips. They get to enjoy live theater for the first time sometimes.
Yeah, what a great way to kind of expose them to the arts in this way.
Yes, and this show is $5 for kids, $20 for their adult. A lot of fun. But the activity does not stop there. We've got one of Ireland's premier traditional Irish bands coming to Connect to Culture on Saturday, March 14th. This is Taita. It's kind of hard to know how to pronounce those Irish words sometimes, but it is Taita. And so you'll get to see all of those, the bodhrán right there, that cool drum that is a traditional Irish instrument, fiddles. They're going to be playing jigs. It's going to be very lively. You're going to want to get up out of your seat. We have a lot of Irish heritage in Joplin and the Joplin area, so we hope, a lot of times these Irish shows do sell out. So I do encourage folks to get their tickets early.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really fun show. There will be some Irish step dancing as well. And then at the end of March, we have Hare and Tortoise by Tutti Frutti Productions. I just love their name. They're a group out of the UK, actually, and that is going to be on March 29th. It is a Sunday, a little bit different for us. The public show's on a Sunday, then our school shows are on a Monday. But this is, of course, the classic tale of Hare and Tortoise. They go through the seasons. What's really cool about Tutti Frutti Productions, you can see on the screen, their set is like a storybook. Like you've just opened a storybook onto our stage.
That's beautiful.
And so it's really, really fun to see how they have developed this adaptation of the book.
Yeah.
And you get to, kind of learn from Hare and Tortoise's, perspectives. One of them is fast, one of them is slow. How do they move through life together and be friends still? And so this is another great one for kids and their families.
It sounds like a lot of really great opportunities for the whole family to get involved in theater and maybe explore different stories and cultures.
Yes.
So for people at home who are like, I want to get involved and I want to make sure I get my tickets, because I know a lot of your shows sell out quick.
Yes, they do.
So where should they go?
Yeah, if they just visit connecttoculture.org, that's connect2culture.org, or they can come down to our home inside the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. We've got a box office there open Tuesday through Saturday, 1 to 5 p.m. And of course, if there are tickets available, there are walk-up sales on the day of the show as well.
Amazing, and we'll get all of that information linked on our website as well, KLAMnewsnow.com. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Emily. I can't wait to see these shows.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and we can't wait to see you there.
Yeah, well, we'll be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Well, it's going to be another wonderful day out there. Temperatures are going to get into the mid to upper 60s with nice sunny skies. Taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh, the sun is up and that's going to start warming things up. You can see nice clear skies out there right now. Looking at the roadways downtown Pittsburgh, looking pretty good at this moment. There was a bit of rain that pushed through last night, but really it didn't do much for the roadways. You can see it's dried up now, even at US 69 at 400. Not too busy as well. Driving conditions on these roadways are looking pretty good. US 69 at Baxter Springs, again, looking really good out there all across the region. Dry conditions for your morning commute as you get onto 20th range line as well. Getting a little bit busier out there, but not too bad for much of the region. 32nd range line as well, a little busy, but still roadways looking clear at this moment in time. Taking a look at our fog tracker, though, we are mostly seeing good driving conditions all across the region. There is a tad bit of fog down there by Bentonville. You guys have about 6.3 miles of visibility, and up there in Iola, just under 8. But all across the region still looks pretty good for driving conditions. Joplin at about 7 miles of visibility. Still, if you're driving in any of those areas, just be safe. You know, there's still just a tad bit of fog out there, but overall looks pretty good. Right now, current conditions, 40 degrees out there. Winds out of the north at 3 miles an hour. Like I said, it's on the cooler side this morning, but you're going to start the day off with a jacket on. But as we get to the afternoon hours, you're going to be in a t-shirt because the temperatures are going to feel pretty good. Take a look at our future track. This is today at noon. Sunny skies, winds out of the north. That means we're going to see slightly cooler air in the area, but like I said, it's not really going to affect those high temperatures as we get into this afternoon. By this afternoon, going to be still on the sunnier side as well, with those temperatures getting up to the mid to upper 60s. As we get into Friday morning, winds are going to now be shifting from out of the east, and that's going to be warming things up slightly as we get into Friday as well. By Friday afternoon, staying sunny. By we get to 5 o'clock tomorrow, winds are going to be out of the southwest, bringing in warmer air as well, and we can see sunny skies for us on Friday afternoon. Like I said, now the winds are going to be shifting from the southwest on Friday. We're going to see the temperature trend continue to increase as we get into the weekend. Temperatures into the 70s by tomorrow and Saturday. But if you're starting your day today, we're going to see sunny skies through the morning, 58 degrees by 11 a.m. As we get into the afternoon, we're going to see 66 degrees by 4 p.m. with those sunny skies, and 66 is going to be our high for today. Getting into tonight, we're only going to get down to 50 degrees by 10 p.m. with those clear skies, dropping down to 43 degrees for our overnight low. It is going to get a bit breezy for us on Friday. With those winds out of the southwest, we can see wind gusts about 15, 20 miles an hour. So it's going to be a nice, sunny, warm day, but a bit breezy as well. So if you're planning your Friday, 73 degrees with those windy conditions, sunny skies on Friday. Tomorrow night, dropping down to 50 degrees, mostly clear, and those winds will start to calm down by the time we get to tomorrow night. Taking a look at our weekend, we're going to start off our weekend pretty great. 76 degrees on Saturday with partly sunny skies, and as we get into Sunday, though, it's going to be on the cooler side when some rain's going to start pushing its way in Saturday night into Sunday. So 70s by Friday and also into Saturday as well. And then we're going to have some much needed rain push into the area Saturday night into Sunday. And then we're going to have day after day of rain even into next week, with pushing back into the 70s by next Thursday. Much needed rain for the region. That's a look at your full forecast. More news and weather coming up after the break.
Today in Health Watch, a new study suggests microplastics may cause prostate cancer. Researchers from the American Society of Clinical Oncology are releasing the results Tuesday, which claim that microplastics were discovered deep inside samples from 9 out of 10 patients with prostate cancer. More microplastic levels were also found inside the tumors than in regular healthy tissue nearby. Nylon 6 and polystyrene were said to be the microplastics most commonly found. The new study follows one published by the New England Journal of Medicine in 2024, which found that patients with microplastics and nanoplastics in cancerous tissue were 4.5 times more likely to require a doctor or visit the hospital. According to the American Cancer Society, around 1 in 8 men in the U.S. will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Well, members of the Senate Help Committee finally got a chance to grill President Trump's nominee for Surgeon General. Some critics say the 38-year-old who does not hold an active medical license is not a fit for the job, as she is better known for being a wellness influencer, author and entrepreneur. Her confirmation hearing comes as the CDC releases grim new data on America's obesity rates. Fox News Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel has the story.
My vision in this role is to get more whole, healthy foods on American plates.
President Trump's nominee for Surgeon General on Capitol Hill Wednesday telling members of the Senate Help Committee she's eager to reshape America's approach to health.
Nothing is more urgent than restoring wholeness for Americans, physically, mentally, and societally.
38-year-old Dr. Casey Means fielding tough questions on everything from her stance on vaccines, women's contraception, and whether or not she would ban processed food ads on TV.
Just to be clear, the Surgeon General's office does not have the purview to ban this.
But you have a voice.
Absolutely, and that's a voice I would absolutely lend to talking about the dangers of ultra-processed foods and getting these advertisements off TV.
The confirmation hearing comes as the CDC releases alarming new data that finds about 21% of American children and teens ages 2 to 19 are obese, the highest levels ever recorded. It's an issue senators at the hearing highlighted.
Approximately 20% of our youth are obese. 1 in 3 adolescents age 12 to 17 have prediabetes. 1 in 3.
And the president's Make America Healthy Again movement is focusing on it ahead of the November midterm elections. Earlier this month, heavyweight boxing legend Mike Tyson appeared in a Super Bowl ad urging Americans to eat real food after the administration released new dietary guidelines prioritizing nutrient-dense foods. There is some good news out of the CDC. Data finds adult obesity rates may be slowing. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Well, coming up, more monkey business caught on camera in St. Louis, Missouri.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Samantha Walker. A Southeast Kansas fire chief who helped save 38 lives during a raging wildfire receives the state's highest honor. Yates Center Fire Chief Brandon Golding accepted the President's Award from the Kansas Fire Chiefs Association for his heroic actions during last March's South Owl fire. 70-mile-per-hour winds drove flames directly towards a nursing home when Golding and his crew arrived first on scene. They evacuated every resident with 0 injuries, then held the fire line as the building burned. The fire destroyed the nursing home, but Chief Golding's quick actions prevented it from spreading throughout the city. Golding says he alone doesn't deserve the award. He says so many people came to help.
We're talking everybody from the Sheriff's Department, Yates Center Police, Emergency Management, Dispatch, Yates Center Fire, Woodson County Rural Fire, Toronto Fire, Chanute, Iola. I mean, we had Kansas City, Kansas here. We had so many people here to help us. Even the community was running around putting small fires out.
Last night's surprise ceremony honors a second-generation fire chief who now serves alongside his father and son, 3 generations protecting Yates Center. Now here's Donald with a quick look at your forecast.
Well, we're going to see another sunny day with temperatures getting into the mid to upper 60s. Take a look at downtown Pittsburgh. The sun is up, warming things up there. Out there, we're seeing clear skies. Roadways looking pretty good in downtown Pittsburgh right now. Taking a look at US 69 and 400, looking pretty good as well. That rain that pushed through this morning has dried out, so it shouldn't affect any of the roadways as well. Taking a look outside, 40 degrees in Joplin, 39 degrees in Pittsburgh. So you're going to need a jacket as you're getting out today, this morning, but by the time it gets this afternoon, you'll probably be in a sweatshirt. Temperatures across the region still on the cooler and colder side. 35 degrees there in Iola, 34 degrees in Fort Scott. Down in the southeastern area, we got 46 degrees in Bentonville, 41 degrees over there in Independence. So we're still seeing mid to 30s to the low to mid 40s across the region. But things are going to start warming up as we go through the next couple of hours. Here's today at noon. We got sunny skies, winds out of the north, bringing in slightly cooler air, but that's not really going to affect our high temperatures for today. As we get to this afternoon, we're going to see sunny skies. Like I said, those temperatures could be in the mid to upper 60s by this afternoon. Getting into tonight, we're going to see winds now coming out of the east. That's eventually going to start warming things up as we push into Friday. So if you're starting your day here for today, we're going to see sunny skies all through the day, getting up to 65 degrees by 3 p.m. Our high should be about 66 for this afternoon. Winds out of the north at 5 to 10 miles an hour, but it's going to be even warmer tomorrow, and I'll have those details coming up.
Thanks, Donald. Missouri lawmakers are considering a bill that would give parents a bigger state tax break the year they have or adopt a child. Right now, Missouri taxpayers can deduct $1,200 per dependent. Under Senate Bill 1032, they could take a one-time $2,400 deduction in the year that the child is born or adopted. The change would start with the 2027 tax year.
Let's say you made $10,000. And you had a child, then it would reduce that taxable $10,000 down by $1,200. the first year that your child was born, it would double that and bring you down to, what's that, $7,600 in taxable income.
Families would not be able to stack the new deduction on top of the existing one for the same child that year, but other provisions like the stillbirth and elderly dependent deductions would stay in place. Well, disability rights advocates are set to hold a rally at the Capitol in Jefferson City Wednesday for the 25th Annual Disability Rights Legislative Day in the Capitol Rotunda. At 11 a.m., advocates will celebrate the 25th annual event and speak on the progress that has been made over the past 25 years. According to a press release, advocacy will be centered around disability rights and the inclusion of people with disabilities in all aspects of community life and work. Elected officials are set to speak at the rally along with several self-advocates with disabilities, sharing their stories to educate legislators on issues that matter to them most. This rally comes as Governor Mike Kehoe is suggesting $80.7 million in cuts to in-home care for the 2027 fiscal year budget. Well, more monkey business in St. Louis after videos went viral of monkeys roaming the streets last month.
Don't you just hate when you leave your garage open and this happens?
Wildlife Command Center, how can I help you? Hi there.
There's a monkey in my garage.
It looks like the one off of Friends. I am not even joking.
Time to call the boss,
Come on.
Michael Barehands Baran.
This is one of our favoriteest things, to get tickled.
As the name and the bare hands suggest, he catches wild animals and lost pets barehanded.
This is Sissy. Sissy is a spider monkey.
Different than the one in the garage.
Yeah, the monkey in the garage was a capuchin.
And at first, he and the team at Wildlife Command Center couldn't believe it.
They told me that there was a monkey in the garage. I was 100% sure that it was just a raccoon. But it really is. Look at this.
Yep, that's definitely a monkey.
This is the first time in 60 years it was actually a monkey.
And the first time he caught one, but not before this happened.
Then it jumped onto the owner of the house and she freaked out.
She opened the laundry room door and in it went. From there,
It was easy for me to get my hands on the monkey. You know, you just kind of control them, hold them in a way that they're not going to feel threatened. And I was able to get it into a carrier safely.
the last bit of the story, Sissy helped with the microphone.
Jefferson County 911 dispatcher called us, and we were able to trace the owner back from a missing primate report.
After showing the proper permits, the monkey was reunited with its owner. Sissy, on the other hand, will be in foster at Michael's house for a few more months. Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. An unexpected incident on the road in Nebraska this week. In Consumer Watch, certain cottage cheese products sold under Walmart's Great Value brand are being recalled over pasteurization concerns. The Food and Drug Administration announced yesterday that Saputo USA is voluntarily recalling select cottage cheese products. The affected products include the Great Value fat-free small curd cottage cheese, 0% milk fat 24-ounce container, and the Great Value low-fat small curd cottage cheese, 2% milk fat 24-ounce container. The FDA says dairy ingredients in the cheeses may not have been fully pasteurized. The recalled products were sold in Walmart stores in 24 states between February 17th and February 20th, 2026. The FDA says no illnesses linked to the recalled cottage cheese have been reported. The agency advises those who purchase the impacted products should either dispose of them or return them for a refund. Well, while taxes can be tedious, economic experts say the prospects of getting back higher returns could be a motivator to help get you started filing. But be careful about what tools you use to get the job done. Fox News' Kevin Uretsky reports on that and much more.
It's that time of year again.
My main focus is tax. So this is an exciting time for me, definitely.
And while experts like J.T. Egan of Purdue University may be happy, it's safe to assume most Americans are begrudgingly making their way through this tax season.
This is just one of those procrastination monsters that will crop up. That if you can put it to the back burner, people will put it to the back burner.
But even though there's some time left until the April 15th deadline, Professor Egan advises filing early, citing how some people may qualify for larger returns, which may require more paperwork.
A lot of folks are going to expect potentially bigger refunds, which is pretty cool for them. So anybody that is receiving overtime pay or tip income, there's even an extra senior deduction this year that wasn't there in previous years. If you work overtime, you may need to go back to your employer and ask for a breakout of my overtime pay versus my regular time pay.
There's many ways to file, from doing it yourself online or by going to a tax professional.
The other way would be to go to a VITA site. And these are volunteers that have training in tax that assist low-income households and actually prepare their returns for free.
But when it comes to using artificial intelligence for help, Egan warns it could provide inaccurate results.
And I think the reason why is the body of knowledge is just too large and the tax law updates too frequently.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
It's going to be another warm and sunny one out there for today. Taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh, you can see clear skies. The sun is up. We're going to be warming things up over the next couple of hours. Taking a look at the roadways in downtown Pittsburgh, not busy at all. Looking pretty good at this moment in time. Even roadways across the region are looking good as well. US 69 at US 400. We did have some rain that pushed through this morning and it was damped in some of the roadways, but it looks dry out there right now, so that should not affect your drive into work this morning, and the school buses getting to school as well. US 69 is Baxter Springs. You can see driving conditions look excellent out there as well, with nice sunny conditions all across the region. Even 20th and Rangeline not busy as well, looking good at this moment in time. 32nd and Rangeline a little bit busy there. You got some backup right there, but overall looking pretty good and smooth across the region. We're going to talk about the fog. So the temperatures and the dew points are relatively close to each other, so that does produce fog in areas. And most of the area looks pretty good. There is some patchy fog across the area. We got 7 miles of visibility there in Joplin, Carthage, just a little over 7 miles. Down there by Bentonville, you guys have just over 6 miles of visibility. So most of the region looks pretty good. If you're driving through those areas I just said, just be careful. There is some fog out there right now, but that should start burning off over the next couple of hours. Current conditions right now in Joplin, 40 degrees, winds out of the north at 3 miles an hour. So you're going to need a jacket this morning, but as we get into the afternoon hours, you're going to be in a t-shirt. Taking a look at our future track. This is today at noon. Sunny skies, winds out of the north. It's going to bring in slightly cooler air to the region, but it's not really going to affect those temperatures for today. We're still going to be above average into the mid to upper 60s. Even by this afternoon, still going to stay on the sunnier side, so a great Thursday ahead of us here. As we get into Friday morning, winds are going to be coming out of the east now. That's going to be warming things up for our Friday. And as we get into Friday afternoon, sunny skies. Now winds are coming out of the southwest. That's going to be bringing in warmer air to our region. Along with those sunny skies, we can see temperatures get into the 70s as well. And that's why I want to talk about these temperature trends. We're going to see temperatures into the low to mid 70s by Friday and also into Saturday. So it's feeling about 20 degrees above average for this time of year. Even for today, we're going to see sunny skies through the morning, 58 degrees by 11 a.m. And as we get to the afternoon, we're going to see 66 degrees by 4 p.m. with those sunny skies. And 66 degrees is going to be our high for today. Getting in tonight, though, we're going to cool down a bit. We're going to see 50 degrees by 10 p.m. with clear skies, overnight low at 43 degrees. And winds are going to be on the calmer side until we get to tomorrow afternoon. We're going to see winds gusting up to about 15, even 20 miles an hour for our Friday. So it's going to be sunny and warm, but it is going to be a bit breezy out there for our Friday. So if you're planning for your Friday, 73 degrees, sunny skies, like I said, breezy with those winds gusting up to 20 miles an hour for our Friday. Tomorrow night, we're going to drop down to 50 degrees, and those winds are going to start calming down by tomorrow night. Taking a look at our weekend, though, it's a great start to our weekend. Saturday, high is 76 degrees, and we're also going to see some rain start to push in Saturday night into Sunday, cooling things down. We are in desperate need of some rain for the area because it's been so dry, so that's what we're watching over the next couple of days. Nice conditions over the next couple of days until we get into the weekend. We're going to see rain return to the area basically Saturday night through next Wednesday, but like I said, it's been so dry, we need that rain and also bringing some cooler temperatures as well. So let's enjoy this nice weather before that rain starts to push in on Saturday night. That's Check Your Full Forecast. More news and weather coming up after the break.
Well, new fear unlocked thanks to some unexpected troubles on the road for these two drivers. Check out the moment the ground opens up, swallowing two vehicles in Omaha, Nebraska.
No one was hurt. Police say that the witnesses rushed over to the surreal scene, helping pull the drivers up and out of the hole, getting them to a safe place. A towing company later arrived on the scene to pull the two vehicles out of the hole. No word yet on what caused the street to collapse.
That is one of my greatest fears now. Like, and it's just so, the video is so scary because they're just sitting there.
They really are, and it just drops out from underneath them. I mean, the sinkholes can happen anywhere, so it's a scary thought.
So, like they said, new fear unlocked. That is, I'm gonna be like, I hope my little Kia Soul is light enough that that never happens to me.
I'm glad they're all right. So, dozens of preschool students in Chicago took part in a mini polar plunge. Yesterday, this Catholic school transformed one of its classrooms into a frosty water oasis.
One by one, the young children took a dip with only their feet into kiddie pools filled with ice. The event was held to raise money for members of the city's largest polar plunge teams.
All proceeds will go to Polar Plunge Chicago, which benefits Special Olympics Illinois. The big annual Polar Plunge event is set for Sunday morning at Chicago's North Avenue Beach.
See, I feel like I could never do a polar plunge because, I don't do well with the cold, and I know that's like the point is like to endure the cold for it, and I'm like, I don't think I'd be good at it. I would not enjoy it at all. Well, movie stars usually steal the spotlight, but this time it's the props. A host of iconic Hollywood treasures are heading to auction in Los Angeles. Highlights include the harpoon gun from Jaws, which celebrated its 50th anniversary last year, and a light-up C-3PO head from Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Each of those props is set to bring in around $500,000.
And Terminator fans can bid on Arnold Schwarzenegger's blood and bullet-riddled jacket. Next month's auction features more than 1,500 items from Hollywood's film and television history, with sales expected to rake in around $9 million.
Is there any Hollywood prop that you I want to have? That was I would go and try to purchase if they ever had it.
I really have to think about that. There's so many of them. I'm a big nerd, so I like a lot of that stuff.
Oh my goodness, yeah, no. Anything from the Harry Potter world, I feel like I would be super into, or Marvel would be cool.
This might sound cliche, but I think stuff from Twister.
Twister, that makes sense for you. That would make sense. Imagine you just get the truck from Twister. You get one of the cow props.
Yeah, I would love that.
That'd be so good.
Well, M&M's bring back its Flavor Vote competition for 2026. The year's contenders include 3 unique twists on classic bakery favorites.
The new M&M flavors include peanut butter cinnamon roll, cherry chocolate cupcake, and lemon meringue pie. To help fans decide, all 3 M&M Bakery Collection flavors are now available nationwide in single, share size, and sharing stand-up pouch sizes.
After tasting, fans can visit mms.com/vote now through May 15th to cast their vote. A favorite flavor will be announced in late May before joining the lineup for a limited time this fall. Wow.
Lemon meringue M&Ms sounds like a really odd flavor combination.
I'd try it just to try it to see what it's like.
Do you think it would still have the chocolatey center?
Oh yeah, I think so. It's a good blend of that.
Okay, well, sounds good. We're going to have your wake up recap and a check at the forecast when we come back. Well, this is your Wake Up Recap for February 26, your top stories to start your day. A Joplin teenager is dead after a single vehicle crash in Cherokee County. The crash happened around 7:45 Tuesday on a rural road about 3 miles north of Galena. Authorities say 19-year-old Braxton Goff was driving a car that left the road for an unknown reason. It struck a tree and caught fire. Goff died at the scene. There was no one else in the car. Authorities closed a stretch of highway in Anderson, Missouri for 6 hours to investigate a fatal crash. The crash happened at 9:30 yesterday morning on Highway 76 and Indian Springs Trail. Troopers say an SUV crossed the center line and struck a commercial trash hauler head-on. The driver of the SUV was rushed to an area hospital where she later died. Authorities have not yet released her identity. The other driver was not injured. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
Well, we're going to see wonderful temperatures over the next couple of days and sunny skies. We could be 66 today. We could be in the low 70s tomorrow for our Friday, getting up to 76 by Saturday. And then we're going to have some rain start to push in Saturday night. And you can see basically Saturday night through next Wednesday, we have day after day of rain and cooler temperatures. So let's enjoy this nicer weather while it's here before that rain pushes in. But we really need the rain. It has been very dry.
We need it so badly. I'm excited for rain. You know, I like a nice rain, especially if it's raining in the night, then I can sleep with it, and it's just awesome. So I'm excited for it. I'll pull out my rain boots. I'll be ready.
Yeah, definitely. It's starting to feel like spring, and like I said, it's been dry, and we need that rain for sure.
And you know, with spring getting near, you know, you're going to see probably more and more animals coming out. And an elk got himself into a conundrum with an unlikely object. Greg Lynch Jr. spotted this elk with a folding chair caught in its antlers in Oakhurst, California.
The elk was attempting to free itself. Lynch Jr. says he stopped to try to help the animal.
But unfortunately, the elk emerged victorious by dislodging its antlers from the chair before human intervention was necessary. That would be like, I would just have to sit there and question, am I seeing what I'm seeing? It's also so sad. I'm glad he was able to dislodge it himself.
Me too. I mean, that happens quite a bit. They're curious about what that is, and they get themselves in those kinds of things. But it's good that it turned out all right.
You know, it's a happy ending to the story, and at least, you know, that guy has a story to go and tell.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be right back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.